Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 27th August 2024. So let's get started with our discussion. And actually now today's newspaper, there are very less number of articles which are relevant from our examination point of view. And most of the articles, they are surrounding based on these three themes. Okay, so first one, it is about unified pension system. Already we discussed this topic 2 days ago. And second important topic is about safety for women. Okay, safety for women and as well as safety for healthcare professionals. Safety for healthcare professionals. And fourth one, it is about Israel and Iran Hezbollah issue. So are these the new topics? Already we discussed about this unified pension scheme. We had discussions on safety for women, and even we discussed about safety for healthcare professionals, and as well as Israel issue we are discussing from last 2 to 3 months onwards. So here these are the 4 articles on which you can see most of our content of our Hindu analysis. So now I am not taking these topics for today. And apart from this, I am taking other articles which are relevant from our examination point of view. So title says at least 38 killed in 3 militant strikes in Balochistan province. So where is this Balochistan located? Any idea? Santosh AC. Where is this Balochistan located? Balochistan. Huh? In where exactly? In which country? It is in Pakistan, right? Then why are you getting confused? Okay, so do you know about some details of Balochistan? So in Pakistan, this Balochistan is largest province, and if you see area-wise, it is large, but population-wise, it is having less population compared to other provinces of Pakistan. And this Balochistan is also very rich in economic resources. Okay, it is also very rich in economic resources, but the problem is there is no proper education, there is highly underdeveloped area, and there is no progress in growth which is happening in this Balochistan. So now what happened is strikes, militant strikes happened in Balochistan, and in this militant strikes here army people and as well as civilians, they died in Balochistan. So why we need to think about this Balochistan now? What is the issue? Do you know? At least some guess. Why we need to concern about this Balochistan strikes? Okay, tell me from which subject we will be discussing this. Yes, from GS paper 2, international relations. From India-Pakistan relations. So can you tell me some areas of cooperation between India and Pakistan where we are cooperating? Yes, Indus Water Treaty next. Come on, you can do it. Okay, tell me what are challenges. Now your voice will open now. Tell me. Terrorism, POK issue. Next. Come on, come on. At least challenges. What are the reasons behind infiltration in Jammu and Kashmir? Huh? Okay, Jammu and Kashmir people not supporting to India, they are supporting to Pakistan. Okay, next. Come on, what happened? Are you getting sleep? Then? Okay, so actually when we got independence, in which year? Okay, from 1947 onwards, there are issues between this Balochistan and as well as even Pakistan. So Balochistan people, they are not cooperating with Pakistan army. Okay, so now let us see this, what is this article is saying now. So 38 people, they were killed in 3 militant attacks in Balochistan, Pakistan on Monday. So dead people include civilians and security personnel, while military reporting deaths of 21 insurgents during retaliatory operations. So actually, there were some retaliatory operations were going inside this Pakistan, so especially in this Balochistan province. So in this attack, civilians died, and even security persons they died, and even insurgents people they had been died. So if you see the details, it is saying that it is one of the violent attack from the recent past in the history of insurgency itself. So at a time, in more than three areas, the strikes had been happened. So it is like very violent. So in this attack, there were mass shootings, and also there were vehicle burnings, and even railway track explosion. They had been happened at three different places in this Balochistan. So actually we can understand that there is escalating of violence is happening in this Balochistan region. Okay, what is the meaning of escalating? There is increasing of violence in this Balochistan. So because of this we can understand that there is instability in this region, and even from different militant groups we are having threat, not only in India but even in Pakistan, because these people they are coming from Afghanistan to Pakistan. And next one here is, in this attacks, they are even targeting civilians. Okay. So because of this, whenever civilians are dying, that will cause human cost of the insurgency. So because of this, it is also raising concern about what about the safety and as well as security of innocent lives. Who will be taking responsibility, and what are the measures they can take to ensure safety and security of human lives. And this one is, even we have to understand military engagement. So there is active military engagement in retaliatory operations. So this will be saying that yes, we are having some counter-insurgency measures. And now the questions are raising that whenever we are taking any counter-insurgency measures, so what is its impact, whether it is effective or not, whether it is causing much more harm than good. So we have to think all those. So if you're taking any counter-insurgency operations, what strategy we are taking, so it should be benefited for long term. So all these things need to be analyzed before launching any counter insurgency attack. And even what happens, so because of this violence, it also led to political ramification. So there is increased political pressure from the local level, from the national level, from the international level to counter this kind of actions. And this one here is local community, they faced increased fear now. So because of that, we can see there will be instability, and even that will leads to further unrest in the society. Okay, so these are the things that you have to remember. So see this. Okay, so this is our country. So this area is called as Pak Occupied Kashmir. So what is this line? LOC, line of control. So here this entire part is Pakistan, and here this is Balochistan. So I said to study about string of pearls. Yes or no? Yes, tell me which port had been developed in Pakistan under this concept of string of pearls. That is not Chhattisgarh, it is Chittagong port. Tell me now which port had been developed in Pakistan by China. If you are not doing work which is given by me, it will be impacting you, not me. Which port? So tell me which port is there in this Pakistan at least. In Iran? So here we have one port that is called as Gwadar port. And here beside this Gwadar port, very near in Iran, we have one more port, that is Chabahar port. So here you can see this is our Afghanistan, right? So this part is Afghanistan. So Afghanistan is sharing boundary with India on map, but it is sharing boundary at this Pak occupied Kashmir. So here if we want to connect with Afghanistan, we don't have direct boundary. Like we can't use the land space or air space, because Pakistan will be not allowing India to use its land space or air space. But how we are reaching this Afghanistan is by using this Chabahar port. Okay, so from Mumbai, we will be reaching this Chabahar port, and from here we will be taking rail route or road route, and we will be reaching this Kabul, right? So because of this, you have to know what is this Chabahar port and what is this Gwadar port. And Gwadar port is one of the port which is developed by China in Pakistan. It is part of string of pearls. I gave you homework to know about which port is developed by China in which countries, which is a part of string of pearls. I think 1 week ago. But you will be not doing that work. Whenever I will be asking you, you will be not giving answers. This is the routine between you and me every day. Okay, now let us see what are the reasons for this Baloch issue. So actually there was one important problem called as marginalization. Marginalization, what is the meaning of marginalization? Marginalized section of society. What is the meaning of this marginalization? Huh? Huh? Okay, separate. I want exact meaning. Come on, what is the meaning of marginalization or marginalized? Srijna? Okay, so marginalized. So search the meaning for this marginalization. If I say now, you will be not remembering it for last. If I give the work, then only you will be doing that. You will be remembering it for last. So marginalization is one of the primary issue for this Balochistan's forceful integration into Pakistan. So when Pakistan and India they got independence in year 1947, Balochistan don't want to join this Pakistan. It wants to become a separate country, but Pakistan forcefully added this Balochistan into its province. Okay, so because of this, here Balochistan will be having very minimal influence in Islamabad's militant political spheres. So wherever Pakistan army or Pakistan government is there, so Balochistan will be supporting very less, and even the support from this Balochistan is very less to Pakistan. And even it is one of the country's largest province with less number of population, and it is having huge economic resources. But the exploitation of these resources is happening here, but there is no proper development because Balochistan is not supporting to Pakistan. So this is the one important reason. Because of this, the issue between Pakistan and Balochistan will happen. And next one here is there is economic and social underdeveloped region. So actually it is having high amount of economic resources that I said. So which are the resources that are present in this Balochistan? So they are having oil and as well as gas reserves, and this Pakistan's economy is because of this oil and gas reserves from this Balochistan. So here Pakistan will be investing in very less in this health sector and as well as education in this region, especially in Balochistan. So because of this, it is a primary reason for the less development and underdeveloped region of this Balochistan. And even in this Balochistan region, there is very poor life expectancy. So what is the life expectancy? Tell me what is the life expectancy in India? 60? 69 years. Okay, what is the life expectancy in Pakistan? No idea. So whenever I'm giving question from Indian point of view, at least try to know the surrounding regions along with the developed countries like USA, Japan, South Korea, China, and nearby countries you have to say Bangladesh, Pakistan, Bhutan and Nepal, at least these 5 countries. Okay, so you have to study relatively so that you can understand what are the problems you are having in India and you can understand the India better. So if you want to become a civil servant, first you have to understand about India. If you understand our society well, then you will be perfect for this civil services, and your answers will be changed based on your understanding. Your answers will be reflecting exactly what UPSC wants. Then in the first or second attempt only you can clear your examination. You should not be like overthinking person. You should be like a practical person. Okay. So here there is very low life expectancy. Life expectancy is below 50 in this Balochistan region, and even adult literacy rate is very low, and even primary school enrollment is also very low because they are spending less in healthcare and as well as education. So these are the outcomes of less expenditure in education as well as healthcare. So whenever you want to say about India is spending very less in healthcare and education, you have to give what will be the outcomes, right? So you can take example of Balochistan. So because of less spending in healthcare and education, they are having these kind of outcomes. To come out of this, India needs to spend more in this healthcare and education. So in this way, you can use this article as a case study when you are writing about India's healthcare and education, right? Are you getting my point? And next one is Pakistan's military violent counter-insurgency measures. It is also third challenge because Balochistan is incorporated. It is not cooperating to Pakistan. So because of this, Pakistan army which had maintained subsequent presence in this region. So because of this, that is leading to the suppression of local resistance. And even there is widespread of violence in this region and human rights abuse and internal displacement and as well as casualties among the civilians and armed forces. So whenever particular region is not supporting to government means obviously there will be increasing of standing army there. Whenever standing army is there, obviously it will lead to casualties, violence, clashes, etc. So that is the thing which is happening in this Balochistan. And next year, even China entered here. So the mega projects of this China, for example, they came up with development of this Gwadar port. So because of this, now Baloch people, actually this agreement which is made between government of China and as well as government of Pakistan. So now Balochistan people, they don't want this projects. But even though forcefully this project had been implemented in this region, because of that, now Baloch people, they are having a threat of economy. There will be, obviously, whenever we are going for development of any project, it will be having impact on environment. So they are also having the problem of environment, demography, and as well as ethnic identity. So because of this, now Balochistan people, they feel that they are separatist and they want to secure their environment and they are fighting against Pakistan people. Okay, so these are the issues which are going on in this Balochistan. Clear? Do you have any idea? You got some idea, right? Okay, let us see this article title, No More Delays. So can you guess what is this article talking about? Yeah, about caste census or like data or census. Yes, that data had not been released because of criticism. Okay, so we are talking about census. So census is about collection of data of population, right? So last census had been done in year 2011. So this census will be done once in every 10 years. Once in every decade, we will be having this census. That means we need to have census in 2021. But due to this COVID-19 pandemic, which had been delayed, and even in 2024 also, the work had not yet been started. So recently, why we discussed about this census? I think 2 days ago. What? Uh, so we have to include one column of caste. Okay, so in this census, we are going to include one column called as caste so that we will be also getting the data of caste census along with this population census. But it had not been decided, okay, it had not been finalized. So whenever we are including this caste also, what will be the problem now? Okay, problems will be like discrimination next. Actually, if you are including this, again we have to go for discussions, debate, everything. The process of this starting of the census will be getting delayed, right? Okay, so the process will be getting delayed. So whenever the process will be getting delayed, what will be the impact? So data collection will be get delayed. Whenever we are not having proper data, what will happen? Yeah. Okay. So schemes, policy implementation, there will be no proper decision making, there is no proper inclusive governance, so all these problems will be there. So that is your article. Okay, so this is your article. So from which topic you can deal with this? From GS paper to governance. Next, because we are dealing with the schemes and policy and data. Next, from polity, because there should be no discrimination based on caste. Next, society. Okay, let us see this article. What are the points it is saying? So caste enumeration should not be hold on census from being undertaken quickly. So if you're also including this caste column, this exercise will may go delayed, because some people will be accepting yes we need, some people will be saying that no we should not. So on the debates, discussions, so this will be delaying our census making process. So this article is saying that Union government consideration of caste enumeration in the delayed census is seen as a distraction. So already we are delaying this census from 2021 onwards. Again, if you are including this caste column, so it is also one of the distraction which is mainly proposed by Union government. So census must be prioritized without any further delays. So without any further delays, we have to start this process of census. And next one is, with outdated 2011 data, the crucial public policies, they are relying on accurate census data. So government must act swiftly to conduct the census and address the growing concerns over methodology and political bias in current surveys. So actually, we don't have data. So whatever the authentic data we had from 2011 census, we are depending on that. From 2011 to 2024, yes, population had been increased or not? Yes, population had been increased. So here, under this National Food Security Act of 2013, so there are some eligible people who will be getting this PDS system, that is public distribution system. Under this, people will be getting free food grains. So from 2011 to 2024, because of this increase of population, we can say the people who should be eligible under this National Food Security Act also can be increased. Yes or no? So if we are not having the proper data, means we are keeping those people who are eligible under this National Food Security Act out of them. That means we are not ensuring food security, we are not focusing on poverty, we are not focusing on hunger. So all these things comes under our SDGs, right? Sustainable Development Goals. So what is the target of Sustainable Development Goals? 2030. If you are not having this data as soon as possible, will be able to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals in 2030? No. So here, because of this reason, now caste data is very important, and as not caste data, that is census data is very important. Are you getting my point? Okay, now let us see this article. Now, caste enumerations distraction. So many people, they are saying that, especially opposition people are saying that government is announcing that we are going to have even caste data. So it is a one distraction. So whenever we are including this caste data or caste column, it will be complicate the census process further. Okay, so here we have to ensure that proper census data should be released as soon as possible, so that based on that data we can go for proper policy implementation schemes and coming up of new policies. And next one here is, whenever we are including even caste in this census, in 2011 we did this. In 2011, along with this census, we had this caste data, but that socio-economic caste census had not been even made public. It is not placed in the public gazette because of many criticism. So if you are doing that again, it may repeat it. So it is also one cause of concern. And next one here is, if you see the global context, so many countries have successfully conducted their census during the pandemic, which reveals that India's unique and concerning position, suggesting that possible administrative inefficiency. So now our government is saying that because of COVID-19 pandemic, we didn't conducted the census. But if you see other countries, yes, they had census. That means we can understand that there are some administrative inefficiencies here present in our country. So we have to overcome those inefficiencies so that we can focus on proper policy implementation. Okay. And next one is public policy at risk. So whenever we are not having the proper data, so will the welfare schemes will be effective? No, we are not targeting particularly the people who need this action from the government. That means what happens? There will be decreasing of efficiency of affirmative action of government. So for proper policy implementation efficiency, we need this kind of data. And for inclusive governance also, we have to include each and everyone. We should not leave anyone. So for that inclusive governance also, we need this data. And next one is, we can understand how the demographic changes happen. So with this data, we can understand rural area population, we can understand urban area population, we can understand the trends of migration. So can you tell me types of migration? Rural to rural, rural to urban, urban to rural, urban to urban. So now which kind of migration is under trend? Rural to urban. Apart from that, even especially high class people, they are moving from rural areas to urban areas to construct farmers, right? So here we can understand the trends of migration. So which kind of migration is high now? Okay, and because of this outdated census data, that will leads to misinformed policy, because from that time to the time, many people, they may enter into above poverty level, some people they may enter into below poverty level. We don't have that data, right? So because of this misinformed policies, it will be also decreases the efficiency of administration of our government. Okay, and next one is we have to understand the political implications also. So whenever there is delay in census happening, so even people will be losing the trust in the government. Okay, so here that will also leads to political debates, and that will also leads to inefficiency in the data accuracy. And so that our government is saying that yes, we have to prioritize the data and we have to come up with this census data as soon as possible without any delays, so that we can maintain good relations with the states and we can enhance the trust between the people and as well as government. Clear? Already you know all these points. There is nothing new. And say this article, heavy shackles of fear and vigilance. So what is this article talking about? Okay, it is about Calcutta issue. So it is talking about safety and freedom. So I want to develop your perspective. So the two things are there, safety and versus freedom. So tell me, so for which you will be giving the priority, for freedom or for safety? Boys? Freedom? Okay, tell me, freedom or safety? How? Gandhi's age is 18th century. Uh, okay. Then we get independence. Uh, okay. Come on, you have to fight now. Boys versus girls. Okay. So, so tell me, what is your priority, Venkatesh? Safety or freedom? Okay, you? Shravani, safety or freedom? Freedom. Safety or freedom? Freedom. Safety. You? Only one, not both. You, Nishat? Safety. Safety. Safety or freedom? Freedom. You? Safety. You? If I say something, that will become controversy here. I don't want to say anything. After class, we'll be having discussions in our ethics classes. Ah, you have to wait. There we will be having lots and lots of case studies, lots and lots of examples. You'll be enjoying that classes for sure. Okay. So this article is saying that women should not have to choose between safety and freedom. So they should have both equally. They should not have to choose. So there should be not any situation they should get like they have to choose safety or freedom. So here this is a condition that so sadly we are facing in India because of increasing of issues against women. Actually, this article is saying that women needs to now women need for safety compromises for their freedom to explore, experience life fully. So because of lack of security concerns, lack of safety in India, so they are compromising on their life and they are not enjoying their life fully. So they're not having proper freedom. So this creates societal norm where fear overshadows over curiosity and growth. So because of this region, so actually you know that in periodic labor force survey, only 35% of women they are participating. Why? Because they are compromising on their growth and as well as curiosity over whatever the societal norms are there. Okay, so this is the one important thing. And next one is there is also invisible psychological toll. So there is a constant vigilance on women participation practice which often leads to unnoticed physiological consequences. So always if you say in the home also, you are a girl, you should do this. You are a girl, you should not tend to do this. You should not go outside. You should not wear this dress. You should not do this. So because of this, always the constant vigilance will be there on women practices that is causing psychological consequences. They will be having impact on their mental health and as well as well-being. And as this burden is rarely acknowledged. So even if you see women or not women, the girls are not allowed to go to parties. So that freedom is there for boys. Why not girls? Because of lack of because of lack of safety. Yeah. Yes, there is also stereotype like girls they have to play with only with these toys, not these toys. So boys have to play with cars, motorcycles, but it is not for the girls. So whenever, even if you're taking any gifts to girls for the birthday party, what will you take? Teddy bears, dolls. For boys, you'll be taking cars, you'll be taking some other equipment. right? So that stereotype which helped, it had been started in home itself. Okay, and next one is even cultural conditioning. Women learn from an young age to be vigilant and shaping their behavior interactions with the world. So actually, whenever, even when we are sending the girls to colleges, they will be saying that you should be aware about who are moving around you. You should not talk with the strangers. You should not accept anything. You should not travel with any other strangers. So like that, here from the very tender age itself, so girls are making to be very vigilant, so that they are having the limits on their opportunities. Even if they're getting job opportunities after their BTech, so parents will be not allowing her to go to so and so regions. So because of this, there is limitation on opportunities and as well as freedom. So even if the girls, they want to seek the higher education, so women, they will be not allowing. So she will be getting married. And even in UPSC preparation also, women will be the girls will be having just 2 to 3 years of time to enter into the services. Unlike the boys will be having like 4 to 5 attempts, so they will be getting freedom to write examination, but women are not having that much time. So there will be having the pressures from the family that they will be getting married if you're not entering into services within 2 to 3 attempts. Okay, and even women advocate for their empowerment, but even they're having the conflict between societal expectations and the personal desires. So always society will be saying that if a girl who is not married till 25 years, if they're going to any parties or any societal gatherings or social gatherings, so here every relative will be pointing finger on her and say that why she is not get married. So it is the age of marriage, so everything should be done in the within a limit age. So we should not give that much freedom to the girls to pursue their job or pursue their pressure. So always because of these issues, there will be controversy between societal expectations and as well as personal desires of the girl. So all these things, and even if that so and so girl who is coming from the low caste or vulnerable sections and further class and as well as caste, which is also complicating the safety landscape of the girls. Especially if you go through the news articles, so the sexual abuse cases will be more against this STs and as well as SCs compared to that of high caste. And if high caste people who had been victim of this sexual abuse, means that case will be becoming viral compared to that of this low class. You can observe this also. For example, you can take the Disha case. She is from higher caste community, but rather than that, many people, they had also had the victims of the sexual abuse in that so and so state, but they had not been highlighted because of caste. And you can see Dalit girl, Kathua rape case, just 9 years girl, I think so, 9 years old girl. But in that way, here you can see based on the caste and class also, the complexity of that issue will be going on. And next one here is, here always there will be conflict between the safety and as well as freedom. So girls need to have the both if they want to pursue their career, and if they want to have the personal relationship. So we have to provide both safety and as well as freedom. But who is responsible here to provide safety and freedom? Everyone in our society have the role to play, so that they can ensure the proper growth of women. Okay, so that is the thing you have to see. And see this article. Education Ministry defines literacy, full literacy in push for adult literacy. So what is this article? What is literacy? What is the meaning of literacy? To study what? Uh, okay. So what is exact meaning of literacy? What is it? Okay. What is literacy? Only particular language? Oh, any language. Uh, if they are able to read and write, that is called as literacy. So actually here you have to know about one program, that is NILP. So please make a note of this. NILP, that is New India Literacy Program. So it is a 5-year program from 2022 to 2027, which is having an aim to improve literacy rate in our country. So whenever you are writing about education and literacy regarding answer or per se essay, you have to quote this scheme, which is the recent scheme of government, which is focusing on improving of adult literacy. Okay, so who are adults? 18 to Adults. So age which is more than 18 years comes under adults. Okay, so this scheme it is focusing on especially adult literacy. So why adult literacy is important? Okay, and I want to ask one more question. So fundamental rights were part of part 3. In fundamental rights, so what are these fundamental rights? What are the why fundamental rights? Why you need? Yeah, they are the basic rights given to citizens of a country. They are fundamental rights. So why this? What is this Article 21A? Article 21A, right to education. So why this right to education is kept under fundamental right? A is capital A means it is an amendment. So why this article had been made as a part of fundamental rights? Right to education. Without education, can't we live? Then why? Come on, think. You can do it. Uh, okay, so we have freedom to movement, right? Article 19 subclass D talks about freedom of movement. So if you want to move from one place to another place, can you move without basic literacy? So at least if you want to go from Hyderabad to Raichur, you need to read that bus board. Yes or no? So for that, this Article 21 had been added as an amendment and had been placed in fundamental rights. Talks about basic literacy. That means you need to have the basic education. Okay, like you have to at least read the boards to move from one place to another place. Clear? So whenever reading, whenever you're seeing any amendment in the articles, you have to see what is the importance. So why that had been placed. You have to know this. So this is the basic criteria of UPSC. You have to know. You should not blindly read whatever there. So you have to understand why. You have to think why. Okay. Okay, now let us say this. In a letter to all states, our Union Education Ministry has defined literacy and it means to achieve full literacy in the light of renewed push for adult literacy under this new program. So under this new India literacy program, which had been launched in 2022 and it is for 5 years, it is focusing on improving of adult literacy. So here you have to know about what is this program. So from this program, you can get a prelims based question. So this program is covering around 5 crore non-literates in the age group of 15 years and above. And this scheme is focusing on 5 components. First one is foundational literacy. Next one is some critical life skills, vocational development, basic education as well as continuing of education. So why here 15 and above? I think you got this doubt. Tell me, why 15 and above? Compulsory under this National Education Act. Okay, so what is the age limit? Compulsory education for 6 to 14 years. That means already it is there, right? So till 14 years they will be sending to school. So they are targeting here from 15 years to above 15 years. Clear? Okay, so the beneficiaries under this scheme are identified through door-to-door survey on mobile app by surveyors in states and as well as UTs. So whenever you are writing about ICT examples, information communication technology or mobile phones, you can use, now we can identify the beneficiaries under this scheme under by using the mobile apps. Okay, so there also you can add one more point from your answers. And this one is non-literate can also avail the benefit of the scheme through direct registration, okay, through mobile app. And this scheme is mainly based on volunteerism for teaching and as well as learning. And in this scheme, we are using this technology and especially we are focusing on online mode of teaching. And especially we are also using the resources from this Diksha platform of NCRT. Okay, so all these things that you have to remember. And there are other articles which are important. So see this article here, unending war. So escalating risk in West Asia will remain without ceasefire in Gaza. So you know this Hezbollahs and Hamas. Who are these Hezbollahs? So recently Hamas leader died or assassinated in Iran. So Iran is saying that Israel is behind this attack. and Iran wants to take retaliation on this Israel, right? So the same way, Israel also killed Hezbollah leader, and now Lebanon. Lebanon wants to take retaliation against Israel, and actually Israel made preemptive strikes on this Lebanon. Okay, so that, and again Lebanon wants to make the retaliative strikes. So because of this, we can call this as unending war. Okay, clear? That's it. And say this article, crime, healthcare, worker safety, and self-examination. So we discussed this topic, I think, 2 days ago. So not only this rape and murder case, but even people are fighting or people are assaulting this healthcare workers if something is happening wrong in the treatment, right? So that thing we already had discussed. So this is the thing, the same thing. And next topic, it is about rethinking violence in healthcare, the same topic. And here one more article is there. So the unrest in Balochistan region, I said about this article, right? The same thing. So most of the articles are on these 3 or 4 themes only. So nothing much is there in our today's newspaper. Tell me, what's your doubt? Yes, of course, because actually West Asian countries are Islam based. So in Islam we have two sects, Shia and Sunnis. So Shia says that we are dominant, and Sunnis they will be not accepting for that. So always there will be issue between the Sunni and as well as Shia countries. That you will be knowing in your international relations. After this economy, international relations will be start, and there sir will be discussing everything in detail. Okay. So these are the important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much, guys. And if you really like this class, hit the like button, and please do share this class to your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to Rathods IS Academy. Oh.